Henry Burris TV is brought to you by Hockey Central Sports Memorabilia, Sylvan Lake, and Supreme Menswear, simply the best. Either BC Place or Edmonton. Now, where would you rather go? Where would you rather play? Compare those two places and what they're like playing at this time of year.
Well, both are going to be tough. Both pose different types of challenges, especially with Edmonton right now. I mean, the weather's been great for us. I mean, we've been blessed this year to have remarkable weather. Edmonton's been a place we've had success. But the good thing for us is we play both teams well in their houses respectfully. I mean, both places are never easy places to win, but we've had success, and that's huge, especially when going forward, playing against two great teams as they are in the playoffs. So really, if you look at both teams, the only thing that really differs are the elements that you have to deal with. I mean, hopefully if the weather stays the way it is, you don't have to worry about that extra or the 13th man going into Commonwealth Stadium as opposed to going to BC Place, to where the only thing you have to truly worry about is the noise, which I had to deal with in '04 when I played with Saskatchewan. We played there for the West Final. That's truly one of the only things you have to worry about, whereas in Commonwealth Stadium, regardless of how many people are there, the weather is probably the biggest distraction of anything that you have to battle against as far as when going up to Edmonton. Okay, let's look at both quarterbacks, starting with Ricky Ray. How do the Stampeders beat this guy? What's the best way to defend Ricky Ray? Not the strongest arm, but one of the most accurate, and that crossing pattern has been lethal for defensive secondaries forever. Well, the number one key as far as beating a guy like Ricky Ray is you got to take the running game from him. Because, I mean, Jerome Messam, the guy's been phenomenal this year. I mean, he's allowed them to have a type of balance that, Ricky really hasn't enjoyed over the past few years. I mean, to this magnitude. They have a phenomenal running game. That offensive line is teeing off, having a great time, which brings a lot of the linebackers up, which has really opened up a great play-action game to those fast receivers like he has in Barnes and also in Stamps and Bowman, which has really allowed those guys to put up points, yards, and really move the chains effectively. The second thing, you got to hit him. I mean, Ricky's the type of guy, if he's back there and you give him enough time, he will pick a defense apart. The guy is one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all times, one of that best passing percentages and efficiency ratings over his entire career, just like a Dave Dickinson during his times. You got to hit him early, you got to hit him often, and continually put pressure on him. And when you're able to do that, it makes the job easier on the defensive backs on the back end as well. Messam has made a difference, but he's the only guy in the Eskimo program who's got a series of numbers here, and you get a picture like this. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Okay, come on. I mean, he was trouble, and that's why BC got rid of him, but he's having a hell of a year and could be the top Canadian. Yeah, really, he could be. He could be. He should be. And who knows? I mean, he's getting looks from the NFL because of what he's been doing. Of course, the attitude will be a situation they'll have to monitor, and hopefully he's grown enough and learned through some of his situations that hopefully he can overcome that obstacle and live out his dream. But right now, he's living a dream in Edmonton. He's having a phenomenal year, and he's only going to continue to get better. Let's go out to BC. Travis Lulay, kind of a combination of what I see Dave Dickinson and Jeff Garcia, kind of smucked up in the middle, and poink, here he is. That's what he looks like. That's what he throws like. That's how he acts, a combination of. So, how do you defeat this guy? Well, first and foremost, you got to make him uncomfortable. I mean, Travis is a guy, he likes to move around a lot. So didn't I just make him uncomfortable, saying he looks a lot like Dave Dickinson? That's very uncomforting, actually. I didn't want to focus on that point. But keeping him in the pocket is key because a lot of his plays are made when he's able to utilize, his what I call improvisation. I mean, the guy is phenomenal speed, quickness, getting on the edge. He throws well on the run, sometimes even better on the run than he does in the pocket. But when he gets that comfort level, as he did against us and a number of teams on occasions here, when he's able to sit back there and kind of, make the reads, take his time, releasing the ball, he gets comfortable and he really gets accurate. He's an accurate thrower, but you got to keep him in the pocket, number one. To me, that's the biggest thing, because when he's not able to get comfortable, get on the edge and make things happen, not only with his feet, but also suck defensive, linebackers or defensive backs up and then dish the ball into those great playmakers and receivers that he has out there with him. That's when he's really getting into his game, when he's able to move around and kind of utilize some of that energy that he has. Number two, if Andrew Harris is in the game, you got to take the running game away because, like, again, with Ricky, Messam is a key, and as is in BC with Andrew Harris. I mean, he's been a blessing in disguise for that team because now they're able to utilize that great offensive line that they have, not only in a passing set, but also in the running form, which has allowed them to balance things out, which is really thrown defenses for a loop. Now they're really off balance, and it's really tough when you have a quarterback. You never know if he's handing off or running a bootleg, because if he gets on the edge, he's going to make big yards with his feet as well.
I'd rather take the noise than the cold up in Edmonton. Just thinking of that gives me the chills. I think I'm coming down with something, Henry. I wouldn't do that.
Especially last year, minus 35.
Oh.
I would take the noise over the cold any day.
Take the noise. Take the noise.